rights are human rights. As part of a shared humanity, all children, no matter how small, have rights to protection, provision, and participation in decisions that affect them. Parents are not alone in providing for these rights. Everybody in society has a role to play. Governments, teachers, health providers, all of us. Well, every person under the age of 18 has these rights. They're recognized in the Convention on the Rights of the Child and in other human rights treaties. And it doesn't matter where you live, whether you're a girl or a boy, what your nationality is or your beliefs, whether you have a disability, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. These rights are children's rights. Canada has signed on to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, so really every Canadian and newcomers to Canada should understand what these rights are. And governments make policies and services to support families to raise their children. Every citizen should respect children's rights. And rights are really a resource for families to help model rights-respecting behavior for their kids, to use them as resources to help solve problems and address challenges, and help their kids become full adults ready for adulthood. Children have the right to be alive, have a name, a nationality, and to live with a family that cares for them. Children have the right to health care, clean water, nutritious food, clothing, and a safe place to live. Children have the right to be protected from harm, both physically and mentally. They have the right to help if they're being neglected or treated badly. Children with a disability have the right to special care and education. Children have the right to practice and choose their own religion and beliefs. They can practice their own culture and speak their own language. They have rights to a justice system that respects their rights. Children and their families have the right to help from government if they're in need. Children have the right to information and a good quality education. They have rights to privacy and choose their own friends and join groups as long as they're not harmful. They have rights to play and rest. Children have the right to give their opinion and have adults listen to them. There are differences between wants and rights, and really one way to think about rights is that they are needs. Wants might be nice to have, and they might even be important, but rights are the things that governments have to provide to support families raising children. Well, the right to play and rest and leisure that all kids have is a great way to look at the difference between rights and wants. So that being a right, it can be fulfilled in different ways. Your child might come to you and say, "I'd like a bike." You may not be in a position to provide a bike at that time. That's great. There are other ways to meet the need that your child's expressing. Maybe it's to go outside and play and have more opportunities for that. Maybe it's to form a group, join a team. Usually there are different ways to meet needs and rights. So what we want to do is really ask ourselves, ask our children, have good conversations about what's behind that want. Opening up lines of communication with your child, asking questions about what's going on in their life. These are great ways to help them meet their needs and their rights. I think social media is a great way to help your kids understand that everybody has rights in society. They do, parents do, other people do. And most kids are online. They're online talking with their friends, they're doing homework, doing other things. They have the right to freedom of expression, but other people also have rights. Rights not to be bullied, rights not to be discriminated against. The right to freedom of expression has limits on it when it infringes other people's rights. So that's a great way just to help your young people understand when they're expressing themselves, to be respectful of others' rights. And that way everybody's rights are respected, theirs, their friends, their parents, and everyone else in society. Well, parents are the biggest champions for children and one of their first and greatest teachers. So parents can teach their kids about rights by modeling rights, modeling what it looks like to be respectful, to be responsible in the way that we exercise rights. One thing that some parents do that works well is they use the language of rights and needs and wants in family life instead of rules. And kids tend to open up more when they're talking about how they exercise rights and the things that they need to do to be respectful. I think one of the biggest challenges in parenting is knowing when to support your kids to make their own decisions. And certainly as they get older, kids would take on more and more responsibility to make their own decisions. But we want them to be ready for adulthood and making good decisions. The way you can start doing that is really early, when kids are very young. Help them make choices about things that are smaller and gradually guide your children to make bigger and bigger decisions so that they're ready for adulthood. Well, rights are all about relationships. It's how we treat each other. And when children feel that their rights are met, they feel valued and they thrive. And really, that's all every parent wants for their child.